どうも、KFSIpolicemanのK-SHO と申します。シャーロックホームズの遺言をやっていきたいと思います。初見初プレイになります。どうも、KFSIpolicemanのK-SHOです。さあ、やっていきましょう。
どうも、助手のむさきちゃんです。いろいろとK-SHOさんと一緒に推理していきます。
そもそもK-SHOが正直初めてやります。推理ゲーム。完全なる名探偵です。
名探偵ですね、わら。
わかりません。とりあえずオプション見ましょうかな。オプションはガンマホ。BGM よりそんな高くでいい。効果はまあこれぐらいでいいか。字幕日本語。ボイスの言語。英語で日本語字幕あるのか。なるほど。難易度。これね、難易度ね、いろいろあるんですけど、中級でいきましょう。上級とか絶対無理。
難易度中級でも推理できるのかな。
これは字幕ありにしましょう。いきましょう。で、もう、これはなんか多分トロフィー的なものなのかな。とりあえずやっていきましょう。おう。びっくりした。なんで今ないです。びっくりした。これあれやねんな。ロゴやねんな。このゲームの会社見たことないんだけど。こっちのゲームって言ってあれ今からね。びっくりした。びっくりした。まあ、シャーロック・ホームズは皆さんご存知だと思いますよ。多分。
シャーロック・ホームズは有名な名探偵だもんね。
それにしても、スイッチでも綺麗やな、画質。
スイッチ版でしています。もともとは PC 版だったそうです。
女の子二人。帽子。なんだろう。かぶった。秘密基地みたいな、なんか。
屋根裏の秘密基地っていいよね。
あら、三兄弟やったのね。
字幕で笑ってしまいそうだ。
字幕のセンスが面白い。なんだろうな。ほう。人形劇のあれかな。あれ、ワトソンやん、これ。
助手のワトソン博士やん。
勢いよ。本があるのか。本やったか。
Maybe it's a book about pirates with a treasure map.
あるあるですな、わら。
アメリカらしいなっていうか、まあ、シャーロック・ホームズでイギリスやけどね。
I wish that I had seen through all your lies. Oh, start from the beginning, not the middle. And so I decided to pick up my pen to relate the most disturbing episode of my life thus far.
It all began early one morning in 1898, when Sherlock Holmes invited me to accompany him on a visit to the Marquis of Conyngham.
Watson, my dear fellow, we can now go and inform the Marquis that we have found the Samoan necklace, and very much faster than Inspector Baines, too, which pleases me.
Have you really solved the theft, Holmes? And so quickly?
I have indeed, Watson. And believe me, it was completely unnecessary to spread out all over London, as our friend Baines thought was best. He likes to boast that his methods are equal to mine, but once again the outcome has contradicted him.
After all these years of accompanying you upon your investigations, I thought that by now I should be reasonably capable of following your train of thought. But in this particular case, I must admit that I don't understand anything at all.
Ah, you see. But you do not observe, Watson. There lies the difference. It is a matter of course.
シャーロック・ホームズの推理が始まるのか。
In the middle of the night, when everyone is fast asleep, the service bell within that room rings out and alerts the servants. They dress quickly and come running. But the door is locked and there is a strong smell of burning from within. A few seconds later, the master of the house himself, the robbed Marchioness's husband, the Marquis of Conyngham, arrives and unlocks the door using the sole key. A fire has started inside the room, but they have managed to arrive in time to put it out. It is at that moment that the Marquis realizes that the famous Samoan necklace, which had been safe within its glass cabinet only a few hours earlier, has now disappeared.
In order to explain, let us confirm my theory before the arrival of Inspector Baines.
おう、びっくりした。
ここから操作してい
シャーロック
くんだね。
を操作します。ほう。これ人がシャーロック・ホームズか。ほう。ほう。はー。結構ぬるぬる。面白い。なるほど。これでカメラ。はあ、なるほど。なるほど。ちょっとあれやな。あれに近い。ちょっとカメラ操作が容易そう。へー。面白そう。そんな気がする。果たして、令和の名探偵はクリアできるのかっていう感じ。
推理で解決していきたいね。
で、これで調
This
べること
window
ができる。
was cut with a diamond, a clean, discreet piece of work. This is where the necklace was.
See how tiny the hole is, and not one fingerprint upon the window.
なるほど。接触実行するにはして競争する。手がかり調べた後、そのアイコンを緑に返す。ほう。左の窓が出せる。ほう。
This window was cut.
See how tiny.
ああ、なるほど。こういう感じで。はあ。
過去の会話とかこれで
プロ
考えるんだ
ローグ的なもん
ね。
か、これも。ああ、いけたいけた。びっくりした。ほう。
All
まあ、
the
下かして
windows
る
are。locked. They've not been forced.
これは
A
ちょっとな
mark
かなかあれだ。
undoubtedly made by a diamond. Someone tried to cut the glass, but he was interrupted.
Therefore, the thief tried to escape through the window, but he was interrupted.
なるほど。次、暖炉。暖炉、これか。虫眼鏡、ほう。で、虫眼鏡使って、調べるところ。
This window
じゃあ、これ。はあ。ピアノ。あ、これでいろいろ選んで、あ、楽譜か、これか、来た。
I need
踏んで
something.
た。
Let us examine
これ
the
はた、
crumpled scores that have fallen off the piano.
ほう。あ、こういう調べるのなんか難しいな、なんか。俺楽譜読めないんだよ。
K-SHOさんは音楽は苦手だそう
何の
です。
曲かわからんねえんだけど。
Nothing of interest here. Nothing of interest here. Nothing of interest here.
お、手が見えるぞ。
These sooty prints were left by a tiny hand.
I don't
これや、
understand why
か
these
なか難しいぞ。
windows are
19でも。
covered with soot.
カメラして。はあ、なんかこっちの方がまだ好きかも。
この視点の方が操作しやすいかもね。
うん。こっちの方が臨場があって好き。3人してやる。あ、走れるのね。あ、よかったよかったよかった。はあ。
左上に一瞬アイコン出たと思いますがヒントを言っているよ。
あ、ここもあるね。
This draft screen makes an ideal hiding place.
As the theft was committed at night, I conclude that the thief hid himself behind the draft screen and waited
なるほど。
until he was alone.
いや、いいね、こういう推理系。
Strange. There aren't any prints. Yet I'm sure that the thief hid here.
これも
Not
調べ
very
るの
well
か。
kept, this aquarium. I can see a dead fish floating on the surface.
死んでるの
死んでいるの
か。
は何かありそうだな。
かわいそうに。いっぱいいるなぁ。
Candle. It must have fallen from the chandelier.
確かに。
These documents are not very interesting, even though they're addressed to the Minister of Maritime Affairs.
The Marquis himself.
あ、虫眼鏡あれだけっていう感じ。へえ。めっちゃ調べたとこ多いな。
The fire started here, just beneath the bell pull.
Whoever pulled the cord would have had his feet in the fire, unless it was pulled before the fire started.
めっちゃ調べれますな。
There are some objects here that have been knocked over.
マジで探偵の気分を味わえ
The
るね。
chest wasn't opened. The necklace wasn't in it.
Footprints. You are not going to get on your knees to examine them.
There is no need. It is soot. The servants must have trodden in it while they were
No.
putting out the fire. Heading towards his chosen escape route, probably the window, the thief knocked over the stool, which then caught
す
fire.
ごい推
But
理すご
why
いな。
didn't he try to put the fire out at once?
そこまで読まないわ。ここは見たな。ここ。
All the windows are locked. They've not been forced.
隅々まで探せって書いてあるもんな。
When the servants arrived at the door, having been alerted by the bell, they saw evidence of the theft and the fire, but they didn't see the thief.
This door is very hard to force. The Marquis is the only person to have the key. The thief could not get out
確かに
through
泥棒
here
どうやって出
until
して
eventually, when the door was opened
No.
by the servants.
ああ、進んだよかった。
Ah, Mr. Holmes, you're already here.
Good morning, Inspector. You've arrived just in time.
Scotland Yard arrives like the cavalry, always in the nick of time. Ah, but I know that satisfied expression, Mr. Holmes. Have you already solved the case?
It's possible.
We have
Maybe the
retraced
thief
the
takes
thief's
it on a
rather unusual footsteps. He is a true acrobat. But what I cannot understand is that when the servants entered the room, there was no one to be seen. An acrobat, perhaps, but an invisible one? I do not think so.
The only explanation is that the thief escaped before the servants arrived. I don't know how, but there is no other way.
Half a point for the doctor, nil for the inspector.
I am pleased to see that you find the situation amusing, Mr. Holmes.
私たちにも説明をお願いいたします。
Dr. Watson was correct when he mentioned acrobatics, but he is mistaken about the nature of the acrobat. As for you, Baines, you're quite incorrect, as the thief was in the room when the servants entered.
Explain, for heaven's sake, Mr. Holmes.
Watson,
確かに。
how could a thief be missed in the middle of 8 men?
I don't know. Because he is very small? Stop teasing us, Holmes.
Exactly, because he is small, small and remarkably agile,
You're thinking of a monkey?
and a trained monkey at that, without a doubt, a Leon Topicus
へ
Rosalia
え
from
こ
Central
れ
そん
ラ
な
イ
さん
オン
いるんだ。
おさまにってそんな猿おんの。
The animal had been hidden inside the room for several hours, calmly awaiting the signal from his master. Once night had fallen and the room was empty, a high-frequency whistle alerted the monkey that it was time to begin the procedure for which he had been trained. The monkey emerged from his hiding place and used the point of a diamond to open the glass cabinet and steal the necklace. He headed across to the window by the chimney, but knocked over the
そんなんで
stool,
いける
which
もん
in
な
turn
んか。
knocked aside the fire
すげえ
guard,
な。
started the fire. The frightened monkey jumped from the chimney by swinging from the bell pull, thus alerting the house servants. He then went to the window and began to use his diamond to cut a hole, but was interrupted by the staff trying to gain entry via the door, and he panicked again. He ran across the piano, scattering the music scores onto the floor, before hiding inside the chandelier, knocking over a candle. Finally, The servants and the Marquis entered the room, leaving the door open while they put out the fire. It was during the confusion that our agile little thief made his escape through the doorway. As simple as that.
A brilliant explanation. Bravo!
それでいけるもんなのか。
Necklace?
I can see it from here, my friends. It's right in front of us.
We have searched the room from top to bottom, Holmes. How were we unable to find it?
Because we paid insufficient attention to the only victim of this affair.
What victim? No one is dead?
Yes, Watson, a poor goldfish whose destiny was to die, crushed by one of the most precious necklaces in England.
The aquarium is just beneath the chandelier. I understand.
The little monkey had likely hung the necklace around its neck and lost it when he leapt from the chandelier. The jewels fell into the aquarium where they remain now.
まさかのあるパターン。うわー、すげえ。マジかよ。こいつすげえ。相変わらずすげえ。推理もんってすげえ。かっこいい。
Here is your necklace, intact, just a little wet.
Mr. Holmes, this brilliant demonstration does credit to your reputation.
Thank you so much, Marquis. Do you wish to verify the authenticity of your jewel?
No, I recognize it. I have spent many hours admiring it, you know.
Good. I will return it to its box and...
Inspector, a bank has just been held up. You must follow me at once.
Cool.
Order to Scotland Yard.
What times?
Sirs, duty calls. My regards, Marquis. And well done again, Mr. Holmes.
There, the necklace is in its box. We've lost enough time here. Let's go home, Watson.
Ah, very well, as you wish. A good day to you, Marquis.
With pleasure, gentlemen. And once again, thank you.
シャーロック・ホームズの推理はす
いや
ごいよ。
ー、なんか面白い、これ。めちゃくちゃなんか面白い。ハマりそう。確かに推理もんやね。マッチ。いや、こういう推理もんやねんな。若干バイオハザードに
This
かかってるけど。
morning's newspaper. Holmes, have you read this article about you?
No, Watson, not yet. And I won't have time to.
Read it before you leave. It's outrageous.
If you insist.
ほう。なんか調べ物とかできるっぽいのかな。なんやれ。ああ、びっくりした。こういうなんか、こっちの方が俺好きかもしんない。探索ゲーはね。そんな気がする。多分これで出るんやろうけどさ。なんかあるね。ほう。ほう。いや、いいね、こういうの。
結構いい感じのところでのお住まいやね。
ちょっとこういう視点はあんまり俺好きじゃないんだよね。こういう探索ゲーって。やるんやったら、こっちの方がまだ無難。これでやっていきますね、皆さん。ごめんやけど。
Read the paper, Holmes.
めっちゃ新聞
なんで新
進めるわら。
聞進めね。ちょっと酔うかもしれないけど、ご許しください。他ないかない。シャーロック・ホームズは国捜査に大失敗がある。はあ。
推理解決したんじゃないの？
盗難事件というほう確かこの価値ある提出されていた部屋の宝石が盗まれああネックレス見つかったよーっていうびっくりした宝石がさらに偽物だったとはあ
まさかの偽物だと？
なんか詐欺行為詐欺行為
Prince Woodville, French culinary expert and bagpipe player, might be our next king. That's not so shocking, my dear fellow.
You know exactly to which article I'm referring, Holmes. How can Farley dare to tarnish your reputation like that?
You know, Watson, that wherever glory walks, jealousy is bound to follow. As for the forgery of the necklace, I suspect that we shall soon be enlightened in this regard. Come in, Inspector Baines, the door's open.
そりゃ詐欺行為されてたんか。
Mr. Holmes, how did you
警
know I
察
was
の方
here?
が来ましたね。
You are one of our rare visitors who avoids the second to last step of the stairs, which creaks dreadfully. And if I add the clinking of the handcuffs and
そんな音でわ
belts,
かるか。怖いな。
what do we owe the
相変わらず
pleasure
す
of
ごい
your
な。
visit, Inspector?
Have you read that rag?
Oh.
Inspector, I assume that you have the fake necklace with you. It's why you're here. Your superiors would like me to examine it.
Indeed. They would like you to confirm or deny putting this fake in the box.
Can't that wait? I must go to the house of Lord Peregrine Maitland, the Bishop of Knightsbridge.
で、これ、
Inspector, can you explain this slander? Has the necklace of the Samoas really been replaced by a fake?
I don't know how the reporter got hold of the information, but it's true.
確かに新
About the
聞記者が
necklace,
どうやって
of course.
手
I
入れた
wouldn't
ん
commit myself to question
新
the
聞記者が
integrity
怪しい
and
ね。
honesty of Mr. Holmes.
The necklace is a forgery? Impossible! I saw the Marquis authenticated before my very eyes,
確かに確
before
認しま
Holmes
したよ。
returned it to its place.
Mr. Holmes, the Marquis believes Osmond Farley's theory. I shouldn't be surprised if the reporter isn't behind all this slander about you. He's a freelancer, well known for his explosive and subjective articles. In any case, the Marquis assures us that you were the last person to have the necklace in your hands.
Let's return to the Marquis's house, Holmes. I'm sure that we'll have no trouble in taking apart this theory.
It is unnecessary. Such allegations collapse on their own, like one of Mrs. Hudson's soufflés. Let us leave the police to solve this problem and turn our attention to the matters in hand.
Perhaps you are right, Holmes.
まだなんかで
And
き
the
ますね。
Marchioness.
夫
She is
人は
beside herself. Without the necklace, her marriage is compromised. It is the principal item of the young woman's dower.
へえ。
What a lovely marriage. Holmes, forgive me for insisting, but don't you want to examine the fake jewelry?
Watson, I have an appointment, and it's out of the question that I arrive late.
It will only take you a couple of minutes. You really must quell the suspicions put forward in this appalling article. If you will allow me, Inspector.
Be my guest.
Very well.
なるほど。
What do you think, Holmes? What do you think, Holmes?
なるほど。ネックレス調べます。ほー。第六巻。お前。こんな感じでなんか。
ヒントをもらえるから優しいだろう
This
ね。
pearl is a different color. This pearl is a
確かに
different
違うね。
color.
他なんかあんの？
What do you think, Holmes?
いや、色が違うだけやったんか。
This pearl is a different color.
まあ本物かどうかやろ。他なんかあるのかな。この色だけっぽいけどな。お、もう一個あった。ヒントくれるね。え、これ大きさが違うだけでなんかあん
This
の？
pearl is too small. It is not in its place here.
ほう。
ネックレスっていろんな意味があるからね
一個あっ。た。まだあった。色違いか。そういう系
These
か
three
ね。
pearls are of poor quality. Too many defects. This necklace is a fake. This is nothing but a vulgar copy, and at a glance it would appear that the forger has intended for it to be seen as such.
How could we have been fooled by such a blatant imitation? I don't understand.
Yes, how is it possible? Holmes, do you have a theory about this?
I have absolutely no idea. You insisted that I examine the necklace, and I have done so. Now it is important that I keep my appointment. I'm sure, Inspector, that you will throw some light on this affair.
Holmes.
You may accompany me, Watson, if you care to do so.
Goodbye, gentlemen. I'll keep you informed as to my
無
inquiry.
罪だといいけどね。
Goodbye, Inspector. You mentioned a bishop, didn't you? Are we going to his home?
Yes, the Bishop of Knightsbridge. I put his address on our map of London on my desk. Would you get it for me, please?
All right, Holmes.
ワトソン、あ、次博士を操作するのね。
いろいろと操作キャラが
い
変わるのね。
ろいろと視点が変わるので。なるほど。面白い。
The work table, where Holmes analyzes things.
はあ。
Holmes's homemade analyzer.
すごいな、相変わらず。
I have found your map.
おー。これが地図か。
Find the address of the Bishop of Knightsbridge on the map, and let's go.
地図こっちか。で、これで行くってことか。なるほど。いろいろとこれ推理もんが。
今回はここまでだよ。頑張って編集していきますのでよろしくお願いいたします。次回もよろしくお願いします。